All right. Deontay Wilder plans a lawsuit against Tyson Fury, Top Rank, and anybody else involved, according to Deontay Wilder, per 78 Sports TV's interview. Says Arum was losing money on Tyson Fury and wants out of the fight for that reason as well. Let's talk about these things in this video. And by the way, if you're a Tyson Fury fan, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to like me. Let's do that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. I am going to tell you a little bit about myself before we get into Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder planning a lawsuit against Tyson Fury for breach of contract. And you can expect that to pop up. And he's going to have a very good cause if what he says is true. And that is that he and his team had discussed the December 19th date with Tyson Fury, and they agreed to it. And they were working in a plan, working together to have a fight in December. So if that is the case, Tyson Fury and Bob Arum, if there was a termination in that agreement, Bob Arum and those guys acquiesced because they entered into a negotiation to move forward and have a fight in December specifically because of Corona. And guess what? If they acknowledged in the conversation that Corona was the reason that they couldn't do that fight at that point in time, then both parties were unable to meet their obligation at that time, and it would be only fair, in my opinion, to treat it as if there was a force majeure and push it to December. Because guess what, attorneys, guess what judges can do? They can assume what you would have done in a circumstance that was unforeseeable. There are circumstances like that. Regardless, I look forward to Deontay Wilder suing Tyson Fury because, like I've been saying for months, ever since Tyson Fury said that he was going to pull out of the fight, I've been telling you, you're going to find out when he announces a fight and Deontay Wilder sues him. Then you will know, because Bob Arum can talk all he wants to talk. Bob Arum ain't going to be talking like that to no judge. Okay? Now, they might try to push it into arbitration or something like that, but guess what? That is going to make December 5th fly way past. Okay? And here's something to boot. Deontay Wilder's 35 years old. If you do not give him this rematch clause, it has already been stated by Eddie Hearn that he may not, and this is something that can be used in court. Another promoter who is a subject matter expert is of the opinion that if Tyson Fury doesn't give him that rematch, the Deontay Wilder will not get another title shot for could be another 2 years. And if that's the case, Deontay Wilder would have been edged out and he would lose the rest of his career. That, my friend, is irreparable harm that he would suffer if Tyson Fury walks off from that deal. And let me tell you, this is a stronger case from what I can see than when Lennox Lewis was suing Asim Rahman to prevent him from fighting somebody else. I've read that court case. This, in my opinion, is stronger because of the pandemic aspect of it. The idea that everything in the world can shut down. You can sit down and agree with somebody else and acknowledge, hey, man, there's this big pandemic out here and we can't have this fight by the date that we anticipated. Let's start negotiating for a more reasonable date. When you do that, you have acknowledged that you cannot meet that date. You cannot. It's not possible. That is force majeure. Even if you do not have it in the contract, they can still find it when it's in the public interest. And ruining this man, stealing $40 million away from this dude and trying to take it over to another country when you get accused of cheating, no, dude, that is not going to pop. I don't believe that's going to pop off. Also, let's check the date. It is now November 1st. He says it's November 2nd. He said he wanted to fight on December 5th. Okay? That is in 3 days, it will be a month away. What kind of fight are you going to put on in the next month when you've not announced an opponent and you in the middle of being called a cheater all around the world? You're going to jump into that December date and you got a lawsuit coming up? No, dude, you're not about to have that fight. Okay? You're probably not going to have that fight. And the audacity of people to support Tyson Fury will be the remainder of this conversation. Shame on you for supporting Tyson Fury. Shame on you. You all that call yourselves boxing historians and boxing fans that know all that have seen and could talk about stuff all the way back to the 1700s. You have seen people get cheated and cheated and cheated and cheated, and you saw Deontay Wilder get cheated and say he got cheated, and he stood up and you ridiculed him. But at the same time, claiming that you support the great fighters of the past who went through things similar, very similar. There's no accusation that Deontay Wilder has not made that, number one, Tyson Fury had not already been guilty of or acknowledged himself was a possibility, including the water. And let's review it. Loaded gloves. Hey, has Tyson Fury ever done that before? Yes, he has. He did it in the Christian Hamer fight, and the gloves were taken off of his hand. And another glove was brought out so he could put it on and continue on with the fight. That, by the way, I do believe was right before the Vladimir Klitschko fight, in which he cheated again. Okay, but he was allowed to fight despite testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Tyson Fury was allowed to fight against Otto Wallin, although he got his eye gashed up this big in the second fight. And he cheated, in my opinion, and anybody else with reasonable eyes, because more than likely his eye in that fight with Deontay Wilder was going to get opened up again with the first punch that landed. You see these pictures, you see these neck holes, you see all the MMA moves, but you don't say anything, right? Why? Because you don't want to get in the middle of it. Just be real, be what it is. Let's say what it is. Y'all don't want to get in the middle of it. You don't want somebody ridiculing you like they're ridiculing Deontay Wilder because you're not willing to stand up for what you see. You see those gloves. You can't tell me you don't see those gloves. They're right there. If you do, you're telling me that you don't see that and you're lying. But most people don't say that. What they do is they justify, and then they try to change the subject and ask you things like, well, why hasn't Deontay Wilder said anything? I don't care. That's a red herring. You're trying to get me to talk about something. I don't care what Deontay Wilder said. To tell you the truth, I haven't cared since I saw the tape. That's all I need to see. I don't need corroborating testimony when I got a videotape of you sticking my money in your pocket and walking out the room. Why do I need somebody to be in there to tell me, to verify what the tape said when I see Tyson Fury's glove bending like he's like Boxing Eagle said, like go gadget? Why do I need Deontay Wilder to tell me that? I don't. But why do you want me? Why did you want to wait to respond until Deontay Wilder said something? Because you were hoping that he never would. And that way you could just keep it like it is. A bunch of internet whack jobs out there saying that, nah, dude, I see the tape. This guy's cheating. And by the way, let's talk about the type of people that have called Tyson Fury cheater. Dewey Cooper explained it. And he's in the Mayweather gym, explained it in detail, exactly why he did it and how he did it. Now, he did not go and blast Tyson Fury. He didn't try to start no fight with Tyson Fury. He didn't do like I do and just call him a scumbag and call him what he is. Tell him that he's out there trying to hurt somebody, cheating him. You already 6'9", 300 pounds. What do you need? Why do you need to manipulate padding from your glove? Because you can't punch. That's why. You're fighting. They brought you to the United States to fight Steve Cunningham. He's a cruiserweight, and he dropped you, and then you cheated him. You guys are acting like you guys out here acting like people don't cheat. It's just to sitting here listening to this whole conversation has been more amazed. I've been more amazed by the defenses of Tyson Fury than I have been with Tyson Fury cheating himself. They're the worst excuses they're the worst deflections that you could possibly do. Oh, Deontay Wilder is just a sore loser. Okay, he's a sore loser. Do you see Knuckles or not? He's a sore loser, fine. Do you see Knuckles or not? Yeah, I see Knuckles, but he's a sore loser. Okay, great, he's a sore loser, but you see Knuckles, so now he needs to get banned. Thank you very much. Yeah, I didn't like losing. Of course I didn't like losing. He's not supposed to like losing. Nobody likes losing. And, dude, when you get hit upside your head with basically bare knuckles, dude, your head is going to be sore. That's what happens. You're going to be a sore loser because you got cheated fighting a guy with loaded gloves and a guy acting who's 6'9" but needed even more reach to keep you away from him. So he pulls his glove to the end and then doubles up on it and hits you with his palm every time he throws a punch. So your pillow fists turn into actual fists. No, man. No. Tyson Fury needs to fight Deontay Wilder. And here's the thing. You can say all this stuff about Deontay Wilder making excuses. Deontay Wilder's not the one trying to pull out the fight. He ain't the, I'm not sorry. I think I'm in a live stream. He ain't the one that pulled out the fight. Tyson Fury pulled out of the fight. So who's the chicken? But you guys want to make the excuse, oh, he's got better things to do. Like what? Who is he going to fight next that is a better fight than Deontay Wilder? And Deontay Wilder said he don't care about a crowd. He said he don't care about the money. He wants to fight. He's already rich. Yeah, I'll fight with no crowd. I don't care. Tyson Fury is the one that says he needs a crowd. Yeah, he won't fight in December because he needs a crowd. Deontay Wilder said he don't need a crowd. So there you go, dude. That's another strong point in support of Deontay Wilder for the lawsuit he's going to drop on them. He said, hey, look, they said, no, we can't do it in October. I agreed. Okay, yeah, it's a pandemic. Let's shoot for December. And then when December comes around, and I'm telling these guys, I'm not pulling out of the fight, but I'm telling you guys, yeah, he's cheating. When he gets busted, he want to pull out on some cockamamie excuse. And guess what? Tyson Fury ain't going to try to fight till February anyway. But you got all you boxing media people out here trying to support him and trying to make these corny excuses, dude. No, man, those are excuses from you. Well, I've not heard from Deontay. Why should Deontay Wilder have to tell you something? He exercised the rematch clause. He exercised the rematch clause. You know he did that. He's on Instagram talking and showing pictures of himself all throughout the world. And by the way, listening to him yesterday, he sounded like anything but a broken man. So Tyson Fury, get back in the ring. I don't think he should be allowed back in the ring. I think he should be stripped of that belt just off that videotape and thrown out of the sport of boxing is what I think. But if you can't get that, at least let him get in there and make him fight fairly. Make him fight fairly. No gimmicks, dog. No gimmicks. No go-go gadget garbage. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think. And with that, I'm out. Peace.